know more will trickle in. So just want to say good evening to everybody, and thank you so much for joining us tonight for our March virtual open house for HLA2. We are so excited that you can join us tonight. My name is Roger Katz. I'm the Assistant Director of Student Recruitment at Hebrew Public and work really hard to support the wonderful leader team at HLA2. So we'll get started in about 1 minute and we'll have lots of great stuff to share. So hold tight and we'll get started soon. And as we get started, I do just want to let everybody know, if you have questions as we go through the presentation this evening, we have almost our whole leader team here tonight, so feel free to drop questions into the chat. We will try to answer them as we go through the presentation, and for anything that we don't get to during the presentation, we'll try to quickly go over at the end. But it looks like it is 6:02 now. So I would love, and it would be my pleasure to turn it over to our founding head of school, Miss Ashley Furin, to get us started. So you ready to go, Ashley?
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Roger. It is a pleasure to be here tonight. It looks like we have quite a few families who have joined us. So I'm excited to have you learn a bit more about HLA2 and what makes us special so that you can really make an informed choice for your family. Tonight, we'll spend a bit of time talking about what a charter school is. We'll talk about our mission and values, take a virtual school tour. You'll get to hear a bit about our curriculum, our culture, the way that we interact with you, our families, and other facts that can help you, again, make the decision that is best for your family. As Roger shared, if you have questions as we're going through this presentation, please do feel free to drop those in the chat. And we will do our best to answer those as we go this evening. So some of you may be wondering, what is a charter school? A charter school is actually a public school that is open to all students, and there is no entrance exam. That is one fact that is sometimes misunderstood. We are a public school. We serve all students, and students are admitted by the lottery. We are held to the same high standards that a traditional district school is held to. And you as a family are welcome to apply to as many charter school lotteries as you wish, and applying to our school lottery would not affect your standing in any other charter lottery. So who are we? HLA2 is a part of Hebrew Public Schools, which are leading a movement of diverse public charter schools. Again, we serve children of all backgrounds, and our goal really is to prepare them to be successful global citizens. Our school's inclusiveness, sense of community, developing students' teamwork, empathy, cross-cultural understanding, and critical thinking skills. That work that we do, we believe is really vital for students' success, not only in school, but beyond school and college, or whatever future careers they choose. We focus on developing student skills in communication, including a foreign language. And as I said, want to make sure that we are developing all of our students to be successful global citizens, having an emphasis on empathy and emotional intelligence. So some of you may be wondering, how do we actually do that? All of our work is rooted in our Olam values. Olam means world in Hebrew. And so when I think about these values, I'm thinking about being optimistic and solutions oriented, and using critical thinking and evidence to solve problems as we strive to be outstanding problem solvers. When I think about lifelong learning, I'm always wondering, how do we help our students fall in love with learning so that their educational journey is not just here and now, but really a lifetime of learning, and realizing how endless and limitless that can be if the drive is an internal one. When I think about being aware communicators in a time when we need that really more than anything, I'm thinking about how we raise our students to listen deeply, to do perspective taking, learning multiple languages, learning about different cultures. Those are fundamental aspects of becoming a successful global citizen. And last but certainly not least, when I think about making a difference, it really is our problem solving, learning, communication skills that allow us to step out into the world and make differences, no matter how small or how big, that create positive change. So without further ado, I would love for us to go on a brief virtual tour. Roger, can you try the volume once again?
Questions. Our school leadership team includes our founding head of school, Ashley Furin, assistant head of school, Katie Pasley, academic dean, dean of culture, academic dean of Hebrew, and our special education coordinator. Our students will receive modern Hebrew instruction taught by native speakers who only speak to their students in Hebrew. As they learn modern Hebrew, they also have the opportunity to learn about the culture and history of Israel. Our next stop will be a peek into a kindergarten classroom. Each classroom at HLA2 is named after a city in Israel, and today we will be visiting the Yerushalayim classroom. Each class is enrolled with approximately 26 students. Each ICT classroom is led by 2 teachers, and all other classrooms have 1 lead and 1 associate teacher. Our K-2 ELA instruction broadly includes readers and writers workshop, guided reading, and phonics instruction. For grades 3 and 4, we do closed reading, guided reading, and expeditionary learning. Welcome to the multi-purpose room. This large space serves as our gymnasium, and it is also used for school-wide events. HLA2 serves kosher breakfast, lunch, and snack daily to all students. Meals are served in classrooms. The physical and emotional safety of our students is of the utmost importance. After all, we come to school to be safe and to learn. Thank you for joining us today for this virtual tour. If you have any additional questions, please do not hesitate to contact us by calling 718-682-5610 or emailing us at info@hla2.org. We hope to be able to welcome you in person sometime soon. Shalom.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Roger. So you have had an opportunity to hear a bit from me. For those of you who are just joining us, my name is Ashley Furin. I am the founding head of school here at HLA2. And I would love to turn it over to my wonderful leadership team to say hello.
Good evening. My name is Katie Pasley, and I am the assistant head of school. And I am also the dean of instruction for grades 3 and 4. And I have been with the Hebrew Public Network for 4 years.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Marie Lucas. I am the Director of Operations at HLA2, and I am in my 3rd year with the school.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Valencia Chapman Thompson. I am the academic dean here at HLA2, and I supervise grades K through 2.
And my name is Lizzie Shander. I'm the special education coordinator, and I just joined HLA2 this past year.
Wonderful. Thank you all. You'll notice that 2 members of our team are not able to be with us this evening. Sarit Daluya, our academic dean of Hebrew, and Kevin Mara, his family has welcomed a beautiful baby girl, so he is home enjoying that. I assure you, you will not miss anything tonight in our presentation. So let's go ahead and keep on diving in. As I shared with you, we are a diverse by design public school. We serve all students of all backgrounds and all abilities. We opened our doors in the fall of 2017, serving just kindergarten and first grade, and we've grown 1 year each year. Next year, we will be fully grown, serving kindergarten through 5th grade. Currently, we are located at 1870 Stillwell Avenue. That is a private space. We are not co-located, meaning we do not share that space with any other schools or programs. And in the following school year, so 2022, we are building a private space, which is located on Cropsey Avenue. And we're much looking forward to that move to our permanent home. It has been a very non-traditional year, and there's a lot happening in the world. As was shared, our #1 priority is making sure that all students come to school to be safe and to learn. So I'm actually going to turn it over to Marie Lucas, our Director of Operations, to talk a bit about how we ensure students are safe and healthy.
Thanks, Ashley. So this year, as Ms. Fiora mentioned, we have put in protocols in place to ensure that both our students and staff are always safe. We have set up sanitizing stations in the rooms, in classrooms. We have kits that have additional masks for staff and students if they do not have one, or if they misplace one or one breaks, we do have them on site. We also have marked socially distanced places in the classrooms as well as throughout the building. We do have electronic dispensers of hand sanitizers outside of each office and classrooms that are readily available to students and staff. We do have deep cleaning and disinfecting every night in the building. We have cleaning going on throughout the school day as children are using the bathrooms, are walking through the buildings, handrails, everything is constantly being disinfected. And we do have health screening daily. So families receive a text message or email from an application that we use, Ravna, that asks a series of questions like, has your child presented a fever within the last 24 hours? Have you been in close contact with a person who has been positive for COVID? Once you answer all these questions, you will get a green light to come into school, where you will be temperature screened prior to entering the building.
Thank you so much, Marie. So you'll notice a mix of photos as we go through tonight's presentation, both of our new normal and of a regular school day and a return to normal world. We're going to transition to talking a bit about our academic program. So it's with great pleasure. I'm actually going to turn it over to Katie Pasley, our Assistant Head of School, to get us started.
Thank you, Ashley. So we want to look a little bit at our curriculum. Our ELA and math curricula follow the Common Core standards and are personalized to meet each student's unique needs. We also offer Hebrew, science, specials of gym, music, and art. And we do use NWEA or MAP testing, which is a nationally normed test, to make sure that we're giving each student exactly what they need. Let's look at a sample schedule for an elementary student. Currently, we have staggered arrival and breakfast to allow for a safe and socially distanced arrival time. Students are coming into their class, having breakfast, being greeted by their teacher. After that, we'll have a morning meeting, which we'll talk a bit more about next. We have Foundations, which is our phonics instruction program. This is for K2 students. A guided reading time where the students get reading instruction in a small group from their classroom teacher, and they can really take that time to get to know the students and meet their needs when it comes to reading. We also have math, which currently is Eureka and Zern as our core math curriculum. This math is led by the teacher. All students participate in whole group and small groups during this time. Students have lunch and recess, often going outside for nature walks for recess. We do have readers and writers workshops which are additional ELA curricula that we use, and number stories, which alternates with science. So they get a couple of days of each. Number stories is another supporting math curricula that we use that is very student driven and exploratory. So students get to explore math in a different way. Students also have specials, gym, art, or music, as we talked about before, and a staggered dismissal to allow for a safe and socially distanced dismissal. Students start their morning every day with morning meeting. This is a time of community building and really spending the time to get to know their classmates and their teacher. They get to form those relationships with one another and their teacher that support their learning throughout the day. The teachers have been trained in the practices of responsive classroom, and they participate in this morning meeting and additionally a closing circle at the end of the day to make sure that everybody is getting the social, emotional learning as well as their academic learning throughout the day.
Toda, Katie. Shalom. Ani, Ashley. Megara Brooklyn. Some of you may be wondering what I just said. I do not speak Hebrew. However, HLA2 is delighted to offer Hebrew instruction to all students. Our Hebrew instruction is immersive, which means adults and students alike learn the language by doing, much like a baby learns English. So learning things such as like, hi, my name is Ashley. I'm from Brooklyn. They're very interactive. Students learn through songs, through games. And it's okay if you come to HLA2 not speaking the language. We do use the proficiency approach, which means that students are grouped into skill level groups, and that's based on their number of years in the program at our school. So whether you're coming to HLA2 speaking no Hebrew at all, or if you're a heritage learner, your family speaks that at home, or you have exposure elsewhere, our goal is always to have those small groups to meet your child's needs. As I said, learning through songs, picture books, games, and those real life communication experiences is absolutely key. We're going to go ahead. We have a short video to share with you. This is Mora Ora with a group of kindergartners.
Seem to be having a slow, oh, there we go.
So you heard Mora Ora, Ahat 1, Shtaim 2, and students have learned the routine of getting up to form two lines where they have an opportunity to try their language on with a new partner. Of course, that video was shot imagining a normal classroom, and so it's great to see our students moving around and truly engaging with the language. As I said, we're a school that strives to meet the needs of all of our students. And so a key person in helping us do that is Lizzie Shander, our special education coordinator. So I'm going to turn it over to her to talk about our special education programming.
Good evening, everybody. So at HLA2, we have an inclusive and immersive environment, both for our students with special needs as well as our English language learners. And if your child has an IEP, which is an individualized education plan, then we will work with you to ensure that your child needs are met, as well as, of course, if they're an English learner, like I mentioned. Some of the services that we offer are what are called ICT, or integrated co-teaching classrooms, which are classrooms with 2 teachers, one general education teacher and one special education teacher to provide more small group and one-on-one support to any students that might need it. We also have what are called SETs, which are special education teacher support services, which are other small group services provided to students who need help catching up on their academic skills. Additionally, we do offer speech, occupational, physical therapy, and counseling provided by agencies, which are wonderful therapists that come in and work with the kids and with the teachers to make sure that students are improving their skills. Students that have needs with behavior or focusing needs, sometimes will have paraprofessionals if it's on their IEPs. Like I mentioned, we have counseling, and we also offer different kinds of supports for our English language learners, whether that be pull-out groups or specialists that come into the classroom and work with the students and the teachers in their class. So any special education needs, we got you covered.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Lizzie. As I shared, Kevin Mara, our Dean of Culture, is out this evening, but Valencia Chapman Thompson is here with us. She is one of our academic deans for the lower school, but tonight she's going to be talking to us a bit about school culture.
Yes, thank you, Ashley. Good evening, everyone. So our culture team, as Ashley said, is comprised of our Dean of Culture, the Culture Associate, and the Social Worker. So HLA2's aim is to provide students with the academic and personal foundation necessary for success. We are striving to create global citizenship, which is the development of student skills in computation, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, as well as empathy and emotional intelligence. We seek to support students' social emotional growth by helping them understand how their choices impact themselves and those around them. We want students to learn to monitor and regulate their own behavior and choices, reflect on them, and learn to make better choices in the future. At HLA2, we believe that feelings, positive and negative, are okay. We aim to support students in expressing their feelings in a healthy and safe way. Also at HLA2, we celebrate our school culture. Some ways that we do that are community meetings, Spirit Days, Field Day, Israel Celebration Week, Student of the Month Awards, Olam Awards, Honor Roll, and end of year celebrations. Now I'll pass it to Marie.
Thanks, Valencia. So at HLA2, we do require students to wear uniforms. Some of the things that students are allowed to wear for bottoms are navy blue dress pants, skirts, jumper, or again, dress pants for the girls. Tops can either be collared shirts or button-down shirts in the color white, light blue, or navy. Students are allowed to wear blazers, sweaters, and sweater vests, and hoodies are not permitted. The reason why we do require uniforms to be worn is that so it does not allow students to be distracted and they can focus solely on academics and their learning. At HLA2, we also do have a very nice uniform library for families that are in need of any of these items. You can always reach out to the main office and we're here to support you in getting you what you need for your uniforms. A little bit about the school. We do have 180 days in our school calendar. For the most part, we do follow the DOE calendar for the most breaks and holidays, with the exception of a few. We do have free Department of Education yellow bus transportation service, which is provided to eligible students, and that is determined by the Office of Pupil Transportation. We have a full-time Department of Health nurse on site that is in the school building during the hours that the students are there. Our typical normal school hour days are from 7:40 a.m. when the doors open and students arrive through our dismissal at 3:30. Our current hybrid model begins with an 8 o'clock morning meeting for students that are remote, and then teachers are ready and welcome welcoming students arriving to our hybrid model at 8:45 when our doors open, and our dismissal begins at 3:20 and ends at 3:30. Again, this is all staggered so that we are socially distanced and following safety protocols. At HLA2, we provide breakfast, lunch, and a snack. It comes from a vendor, outside vendor. We do have a warming kitchen in our school. Our meals are all kosher. We do provide monthly lunch, breakfast, and snack menus ahead of time so that families are aware of what will be served, and so that you know if your child will be able to eat the food or not. You are allowed to send your child with a meal from home as long as it is nut-free. Recess is in the classroom, and now as the weather starts to get warmer, we're excited to start up our nature walks again. When recess takes place in the classroom, students are able to play games. Of course, now it looks a little bit differently as we are following socially distanced guidelines, but there are activities for students to do in the classrooms, and we're excited for them to get out on their nature walks really soon. We do have a multi-purpose room in the building. It is currently being used for remote instruction, but once again, we will be sure to get that up and running soon. After school programs, we do not have an after school program on site. There is no after school at HLA2, but we do partner with a lot of our community after school programs in the neighborhood, which are fantastic to our students. We work with JCH, the UCAN Center, which is right across the street from the school, the Shorefront Y, and the JKC. And now I'm going to pass it back to Ashley.
Wonderful. So one of the most important parts of our work is actually building relationships with you, our families. We simply could not do it without you. We deeply value your involvement and know that our partnership is what is going to help all of our students be successful, not only here at HLA2, but beyond. We do send home a weekly newsletter via a new platform we're using called Parent Square. It allows you to receive messages, emails, and updates on an app on your phone. Our grade teams send out a weekly newsletter. We also have a very robust Facebook page for our families where we post photos and videos of what's happening at school, not only special events and some of the culture pieces that Valencia shared, but also the learning that's happening each and every day. And it gives us a chance to build community. We do use one call, so you may receive a phone call from the school about announcements. And it really is our goal to respond to phone calls and emails within 24 business hours. We know that time is of the essence, and we want to make sure that we are getting our families all of the support that they need. So this brings us to the end of our planned presentation. I'm so delighted that all of you have joined us this evening. As we shared, you are more than welcome to drop any questions that you have in the chat. Roger, is there an additional email address that would be best for folks to email with questions?
Absolutely. If any additional families have questions they want to drop, whether it's right now or after the fact, I'm putting it into the chat right now. My name is, again, Roger, and you can reach me at roger@hebrewpublic.org. Any questions you have, more than happy to assist, and anything that I can't directly answer, I am more than happy to connect you with the right person on our staff. Additionally, if any other families have questions now, please feel free to drop them into the chat. But just a few additional reminders before we leave you this evening. First, it is a reminder for any family that has not submitted an application yet. Please make sure that you do so ASAP. you can submit an application up through April 1st to be included into our lottery. And again, the only way to get a seat at HLA2 is to make sure that you are a part of that lottery. The lottery will be held on April 7th. And any applications that do happen to come after that April 1st date, they will get moved directly to our wait list. So, make sure you don't let that happen. Make sure you do submit an application. That's the first thing I wanted to share. And additionally, the second thing I wanted to share for families, as you're learning more and you're trying to make the most informed decision, we sent it out in our last parent newsletter, so you probably received it already. But next Thursday evening, Hebrew Public is hosting a little service learning evening with a partner nonprofit organization called Dorot. Dorot is the Hebrew word for generations, and we're going to be doing a little social service project. We're going to be having a virtual card making session that night. So really embodying our Olam value of making a difference. And all of the cards that we create that evening, they will be sent to older New Yorkers who are dealing with some of the challenges related to COVID-19 and just kind of the social isolation that many older families unfortunately are feeling. So if you would like to join us for that event, I will be sending out another email about that. So we hope you can join and be a part of that and meet some other current Hebrew Public families and hopefully some other current HLA2 families as well. And yeah, we'll be in touch about that. It looks like there was maybe one other question that came into the chat, and it is fifth grade the highest you have? So Ashley, do you want to speak a little bit about that, or I'm happy to answer too?
Yeah, sure thing. I was actually typing in the chat. So our charter currently authorizes us to serve kindergarten through fifth grade. Next year is actually our charter renewal year. So that will help us better gauge whether we will expand to serve middle school or perhaps partner with our sister school, HLA, who currently has a middle school. So that is yet to come next year as we navigate the charter reauthorization process.
Thanks, Ashley. And like we always say, if you feel like Hebrew Public and HLA2 is the right place for you and for your family, we will absolutely have a middle school one way or another to accommodate your family as part of our network. So it seems like that is it. I just want to thank again the whole leadership team this evening at HLA2. We are so excited to welcome all of the new families into our school community in a few short weeks. And like we said before, my email is in the chat. We just want to wish everybody a very safe, happy rest of the week, and we will be in touch soon. So good night, everybody.